Hi and welcome back to Jim Builds. I'm Jim and today we are going to be talking about this inlet manifold. This is the one that I was talking about in the last episode that needs flat checking and refurbing, so we'll make a start on it. So as you can see, it's looking pretty dirty, so we're going to wash it in a minute. It's had some repairs done to it. Typically here's a weak point, and also this flange has cracked in the past and it's had whatever that is on it. Stick it back together. It's had a patch here which I've actually filed just to see what it would look like if it had been cleaned, and it will clean up. But first off, because this thing looks scabby, we'll give it a clean and then we'll do some flat checking. So next up, we need to check how flat it is. And for this we need a ruler. So all I'm going to do, first off, is run it over the top like that. We're looking for any gaps, keeping the steel rule level with the part that you're checking the flatness on. We'll do one check this way, one across it, I tend to do a diagonal as well. On this surface it looks fairly flat. I can't see anything that would worry me, but we will do a further check later on. As for this surface, we have a problem. So with that held in the middle, if I bring my light around this side, it's hard to show on the camera, sorry. There we go. So that's level on the other flange, but on this we've got light here, which means this surface isn't level. I'm not going to bother doing the other checks just because if I've already found that it's not flat, then we know we need to do something about it. So a steel rule is a good first check. What's next? The next level of flatness check means you need something that's flat, and the cheapest, flattest thing you can buy is toughened glass. This is a toughened glass chopping board that I bought off Amazon a while ago. It's perfect for what we're doing because of the way glass is made. You actually get a very flat, level and even surface, which you are unlikely to get with a big block of steel, for example, without further machining work. That cost me about 15 quid, and it saved it in the time and hassle it saved me. It's definitely been worth it. What I'll do in a second is tape some 600 grit paper to it. We'll then put some die marking on the manifold, and then we'll run the manifold across the glass. You've got to be very careful though. I'll get it set up and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. So this is what I'm going to use to mark the surfaces. You can use a felt tip pen, but I use this because I've used it for work a few times. Now you'll notice I've put gloves on for this because getting this off your skin is difficult. So I tend using a cotton wool bud, just put a bit on there and just apply it to the surface. It will spread, but just getting it to spread at first. There we go, all my surfaces are done. Start with this one because there shouldn't be any surprises with it. So let's move this around. .600 grit, 600 grit, a little bit of water, make things a bit better. And all you got to do is rub this surface. Grab a cloth. I'm looking at that. There you go. Got a low point here. Looks like something's caught it. Low point there. And a little bit of scuffing here, but generally that's level. Now I will improve that surface finish later on, but at least we haven't got to do any levelling work. Let's try the manifold face. So again, hold the part flush to the face. Just take it gently. So that's just a quick feel on that face, and as you can see, got some low spots here, and we've definitely got some low spots on this side. So I'll give it another pass. Better, but there's still a lot of surface imperfections and low spots on this one. I'm going to carry on and do a couple more passes, and I'll show you what the end result's like. After a bit of cleaning and tidying, manifold's looking good. I've decided to leave it. It's natural aluminium and not paint it, just because I've not had great experience with aluminium heat paint. So now I've got to do is put all this back together. So it's been about a fortnight. It should have run, but as I went to torque this down, I got a crack right here where this new weld is. And to get this new weld, I had to go around the houses a bit. So I took it to an engineering firm that I use for work for fabrication, and they had it for a week. They had a look at it, got their aluminium guy on it, and he said, no, basically if I weld this, it's going to pretty much fall apart. It's going to blow straight through it. Bugger. Same with the snap tap, is that they'd have to cut the corner off, yank the tap out, build it back up with weld, and then couldn't quite guarantee the work and where it was going and what it's for. Said, you know, sorry, but we can't do this. A bit frustrated, a bit worried that I'd have to then look at alternatives for carburation, and they all get pretty expensive because there's none of these on eBay at the minute. Sod's law, there will be now I've said that. So I went to take it to a friend of mine who I should have really taken to it first because he's very good at fixing things and he's a brilliant fabricator. But didn't, because I know he's quite busy and I didn't expect him to do it for me. Not that he couldn't do it, but that he's very good at what he does, but he'll do it as a favour, and that's great. But I never expect this for free. I'll happily pay for a service, that's great, but he'll never let me pay, and I don't want to take the piss. So went over to see him, and within about an hour, including having a cup of tea and a chat and a catch up, it was done. So very happy, and he's even fixing the one with the broken tap in. He's got a great idea that we'll talk about in a later episode if you're interested, because this could actually help you if you've got a similar problem. And it's pretty left field, and I think it'll work quite well. So enough waffling, I've got a manifold to fit. Seems to have started up fine without the exhaust on, but it's a bit loud and I think the neighbours are going to moan, so I'm going to go fit the exhaust and start putting some of the bits back on, and I'll be back to run it again. So it does run, seems to be good for the exhaust on, needs some tweaking still, but come on, I'll take that as a win. I hope you found that interesting, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and drop me a like, and I will see you soon. Hopefully we'll get on with this MOT prep. Anyway, take care.